The new patch notes for the Monster Hunter Wilds patch are here. The patch is in a few hours, and the patch notes are here as well. We're gonna go through them. If we're getting more stuff that we actually expected, less stuff that we're actually expected, and some weird things that happen in the patch notes that I'm not really sure what to think about. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live, and let's get into it. So, what do we have over here? I have the patch notes right here, and you're gonna see that, and I want to go through this first. There's gonna be a lot of things here that they told us about, but they didn't really explain. And what am I talking about this? I'm talking about, for example, the effects of the corrupted mantle have been adjusted. What does that mean? Does that mean that it's getting nerfed? In which way? Nobody knows. Is it damage? Is it duration? Nobody knows. And there's gonna be a lot of things of this in this patch notes, but well, I guess we're gonna have to wait until the patch is in our hands to go test those things and actually see exactly how they change. But there's a lot of information regardless, so let's go through those things. First of all, major additions and changes. This is essentially just all the content we have gotten in this update, right? You know, Soshia, Mizuzune, the Grand Hub, and all the things in between. Now, I'm not gonna go through them because we already know about these things, but there's a few things that I actually think that are actually interesting that could have, you know, we can get some information about that maybe we didn't have before. The upgrade limit has been increased for armor of variety 5 and above. So now you can actually upgrade your armor a bit further. I don't think that was a thing that we actually knew 100%, so now we know. New status elements have been added. This is most likely for the weapons from Mitsuzone, but it's kind of hard to tell if we're gonna get more than that. This is probably just it though, but there it is. An arena log page has been added to Hunter profile, so you're gonna be able to see that in your Hunter profile, which I think is actually pretty cute. Next, let's go to the next thing. In bases and facilities, some changes to the barbecue grill because it was not working correctly. Some better response time for dialogue scenes, such as facility conversations. I'm not really sure what they mean exactly by this. I'm hoping that this means that whenever you're, you know, talking to Gemma in order for to craft an armor, and this the cutscene kind of place, maybe it's easier to skip it if you actually want it. I'm not really sure. If it's that, or maybe just story skips of it being faster. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But there it is. The rest command now requires 500 guild points. An investigation reward 10% more guild points than before. Now this is a huge change because before what you would do is you would go into the rest, you know, rest one time, see if you get a good monster or whatever you're actually fishing for, maybe a good trade from the trader. And if you didn't, just do it over and over again. Now, it actually costs you 500 guild points. So, this will actually make it so it'll be harder for you to do this. You'll have to invest into doing it. Now, you also will get more rewards overall in investigations, but this will make you not, you know, be preventing you from, it'll make it more punishing for you to abuse this mechanic, which I think is correct because I don't really like the idea of just I hate the gameplay of like just going into your camp, resting, checking, resting, checking, resting, checking over and over and over again. It feels cheap, it feels boring. I just want to go into an investigation, man. I just want to kill monsters. Maybe that's just me, but I like this change. Honestly, I would make it even more expensive, but maybe I'm just a hater. Increase the amount of points required for variant melding and meld decorations at the melding pod. This is interesting. I'm not really sure if I'm actually agreeing with that. Making decorations harder to actually get. I don't know, man. I mean, I know that people don't, you know, maybe they're trying to hit the whole like big ticket thing where you use the tickets to get an insane amount of decorations, but like decorations are hard to get and hard enough to get right now. Do we really need them to be harder? Just nerf the ticket if you want, not everything. Jesus Christ, but whatever. Increase the amount of melding points obtained from items and rare decorations when using them as melding materials. Now, there it is. I actually didn't read that before. I guess that makes sense now. They're trying to... I don't know what... That's a bit weird. So, you get better... more points for decorations and items. But the points are going up. So, essentially everything... all and then the gold tickets are getting affected. But why then... Or wouldn't you just make the golden tickets use less, you know, points? This is such a weird little change. Maybe you guys understand this better than me. I don't know. But that's the situation. Fix an issue when meal invitations would sometimes be announced or show up in environmental overview at times when the invitation could not be properly accepted. That's nice. And this one is, I love this one. The transfer items option has been added to the provisioner stockpile menu, allowing you to restock items outside of the tent. This means that you can be in your little secret, boop, 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 and you're gonna be able to get all the items that you have in your camp, boom, into yourself, right? If you need more mega potions and you had them before, like in your camp, and you have them in your setup, you can actually restock, which is honestly so good. You can't craft, of course, but that's so good because it's so annoying to have to go in. Like sometimes you forget, you used all the mega potions and now you're fighting the monster and now you're like, oh, I ran out. I have to go back now. That's so annoying. It's super annoying. This way, it'll make it super easy for you to do it from your sacred. I think it's a great idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It'll make my life, and I hope you guys' life, easier. Some issues fixed on side missions that were, they're essentially bugs. It doesn't really matter too much. Monsters, some fixes for certain attacks. I think this one is absolutely awesome. Fix an issue where the game might crash after blocking a Graphius attack. Just I don't know if that happened to you guys, so that's funny. I actually never happened. I've been grinding Gravius and to get a good kill, a good time, and I've not done this at all. That's very interesting, but there you go. Adjust the behavior of some monster interactions, and this one is actually very nice. The distance between the monsters and camera has been increased for certain monsters, such as Gormagala, making the camera hopefully work a little bit better, and actually being able to zoom out longer. Yeah, so you can actually look at the boss in an easier way. Fix an issue where Jindahan would unintentionally disappear from the locale. That's pretty funny. that's a funny one too. Some changes to general. Some fix and issues of a certain sneak attacks could be cancelled for light bow gun, high big bow gun, or bow. There's some fixes to certain mechanics like this. Changes to lance to make the thrust attack finisher easier after a focus strike. Fixed an issue on hammer for focus strikes as well. Some changes like gun whenever that causes Wyvern Blast to react to Palico attacks, which is not what you want. Fix an issue that prevented the Palico stun and exhaust values from increasing when a Palico attacks a monster with a blood weapon. Hunting Horn fixed an issue where certain actions that require simultaneous inputs were not behaving correctly. This was very, very, very annoying. I hope that this is what they mean, is whenever you would like you would put the input that you wanted on your Hunting Horn and it would just pick up something completely different that you pressed before or after what you actually wanted. So yeah, I hope that that's what it is, but we'll see. Heavy ball gun and light ball gun range attack capabilities have been adjusted when riding a secret. I'm not sure if that's a buff or a nerf. I don't think we know either way, but well, you guys tell me. I mean, I don't really play those weapons, so if they were struggling, I'm guessing it's a buff. And we'll surely know very soon. Effects of corrupted Mantle have been adjusted. Definitely nerfed. In which way? How much? Who knows? Rocksteady Mantle damage mitigation has been increased. Mending Mantle and Hebation Mantle durations have been increased. Great. Great stuff there. Making all the other mantles actually usable. Bow Dragon Pierce damage has been decreased. Bow power volley mental values have been increased. Bow 1000 dragon damage has been increased. This includes while using close range coating and power coating. Bow power shot and power volley has now affected by the skill shared master. So I'm guessing overall, buffs overall, and some just one very specific nerf here. Will it be I don't play bow, so I can't really tell you, but will this be something that is good for them or not? I don't know. But bow mains, rejoice or be scared. I guess you'll know the answer to this depending on this one. You can tell me in the comments down below. Skills. Fix an issue when opening shot did not work with special ammo. Support hunters, some changes to this. Essentially buffs to them so people can use them a bit more. Fixes so they are actually what's the word? More, the AI is a bit better. They don't get stuck around. And also fix an issue that prevented guest players from receiving the effects of Roso's demon armor ammo and recover ammo. So that's an interesting thing. I actually kind of like the support hunters. I'm not really sure if a lot of people use them that much, but it's good that they exist. And honestly, if they're making it a bit better to use, that's great. The handler adjusted the distance that the handler keeps from monsters during hunts. I guess the handler is going to be a bit further away, I would think. I don't know why they would make it go closer to them, but you know, who knows? They didn't tell us. They just suggested it. Login bonuses. There will be now a login bonus that includes the free meal voucher. Oh, that's kind of cool. I love that because the lucky vouchers sometimes get a bit. You know, I think we have a lot of them. I have a lot of them, so I kind of like the idea of having something else to get from the daily bonus. Login bonuses now include at least 1 barrel bowling voucher every day. Whoa! I'm really excited for doing that bowling barrel activity. That's fun. I really hope it's that sounds great. That's awesome. And now for the big thing that I really love: the system. Some performance upgrades. Improvements were made to VRAM usage. And the direct storage version has been upgraded. So direct storage, there was actually a mod to actually do this for you. There's another mod that would essentially make it so you don't use direct storage at all. You just download the entire uncompressed version of the game, and then you just put it in there, and that way you don't use this at all. But now maybe that's not needed because the direct storage will be better. Now, how well would it work? I mean, I play on a laptop, guys. So I'm gonna tell you on my stream tomorrow morning. You know, depending on the depending on how it works, you know, depending on how the how it actually works out, how my performance is, I'll tell you if it's good or not. So I'm crossing my fingers. Improvements were made to VRAM usage. Actually, I'm gonna go check that myself. I'm gonna take a few pictures of the VRAM usage I'm using normally right now, and hopefully I can check that tomorrow when this patch comes out and how much of a difference it is. I know that this has been a big problem for players and for people to actually use be able to play this game because they don't have enough VRAM. Maybe this will help. Maybe this will fix it, and many people will be able to play this game. I really hope so, because I have a friend who would really like to play the game, and she can't because she doesn't have a good computer. But we'll see. Fixed an issue that prevented pigment information from being included in shared loadouts. Nice. Fixed an issue with some display settings on the character models on the title screen and saves data selection screen. Fixed an issue where the model's display toggle for pendants will not function properly when previewing armor. True. I was actually checking on some fashion today. It was not working correctly. Fixed an issue with the visual effects of the Hope Charm. Fixed an issue so that the other Link members are not properly prioritized to be displayed in base camps and other shared locations. I haven't read this part, so I really hope that they fix the voice things on this, because it's very hard to like use voice on the game, and I haven't read the entire thing, so we'll see. Fix an issue that made the communication errors more likely to occur when firing at SOS flare right after the start of the quest. Maybe this is one of the reasons why it was so hard to get into some certain people's investigations. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Hopefully they will make it a bit easier. And at this point I never play with other people because it never works out, but just going into SOS and just clicking over and over again until we finally get something is very annoying. So hopefully this makes it a bit easier. Background color has been changed to black for areas outside of the game's rendering range. Fix an issue when a squad leader leaving a squad would not currently transfer leader rights to the sub leader. Fix an issue that made it impossible in some instances to obtain the power charm or armor charm even after fulfilling the requirements to do so. That's an interesting bug. If you have fulfilled the requirements and not have to obtain the items, they can be reobtained after proceeding through another quest results screen. So you have to do the quest again. That's actually an interesting. I'm gonna put this in my video that I recently made a video about power charm and armor charm. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. A few fixes for quests as well. Fix an issue where some NPC dialogue would be cut off. Fix an issue where accepting an investigation but failing to depart would still reduce the number of times you can accept the investigation. Whoa! Due to an error or similar. So now that it's an interesting thing here, failing to depart. So if for some reason there was some communication error, it would just count as a try. I wonder if this will make it so what if you go into the investigation and you play it, but then you die twice? And you're like, oh, I don't want to lose my investigation. What if I just, close the game without saving? Does it make it so I'll be able to keep that investigation? I actually don't know. Oh, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna test that tomorrow. That could be a bit of an exploit, honestly. No, not really. No, yeah, not really. But it would be kind of a cool little thing in case you're trying some new boss. For example, for me, it's kind of annoying that I need to go into investigations for like tempered, I don't know, Argyle and try over and over again because I want to, you know, try tempered Argyle and get good at it. And I'm trying to speedrun it, and, you know, maybe I don't get the correct time that I want and I want to reset it, but I already lost my investigation. That kind of sucks. Maybe with this change, this will no longer be the case. I don't know. Failing to join another quest while already in the middle of a quest will now forcibly end the current quest and take you back to base. Fixed... Wait. Oh yeah, there we go. Fixed an issue that would prevent game progress after departing on a quest while performing platform-related meditations. Fixed an issue where quest party size limits would not work as intended when performing certain actions. I don't know what that means, but good for them. They didn't explain, but that's okay, I guess. Fix an issue where a quest would appear in SOS Flare quest search if the quest host fires the SOS Flare but then leaves the quest. Oh. Maybe that's one of the reasons why there's so many SOS Flare quests that you can't join. Curious. Other fixed an issue where the stated number of pop-up camps on their location would not match up with the actual data in some situations. Adjusted the placement of some ore deposits to make them easier to gather while riding the sacred. Fix an issue where some voice lines would not trigger properly. Fix various text issues. Fix other miscellaneous issues. I love that. Other miscellaneous issues. Which ones? Who knows? Could it be performance? Could it be blah blah blah? Like, why even put this in here? Like, why would you even put this? Why would you even put this part in the fucking patch notes? Why? It's so... It's so useless. That's funny. Well, regardless, the entire patch notes, you know, overall, even though they have those things, it's still pretty good. We have some good content, some cool little things that I didn't know we were gonna get. I'm very excited for the patch, so definitely go onto my Twitch to watch me play that beautiful new patch. And, you know, on some Mizuzunas and some Sojias. And, yeah, see you guys around. Love you all. Thank you for the... Well, subscribe to the channel. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Bye. Good on. Have fun. Have fun. Oh, go on. Whoa.